Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Banana Peels. I am your host, Kale Vance. This is my guest, Blaize Tudor.
Nice to meet you.
Um, so, and by the way, if y'all are wondering why I'm just now wearing a new outfit after the first 4 episodes, it's because we filmed the first 4 in one day. So, thank you very little. Simple question. I just wanted to ask. So, what got you into movie making?
So there's a long story behind this, but to keep it short, I have been into indie filmmaking ever since my dad told me about it. And, there was companies that I found out about like SRS Cinema. There's also Wild Eye releasing, companies like that. Even like Lionsgate would throw a really low budget one out every now and then. I'm like, I think I could make something like that. So after watching all those films, actually the director who really got me to make the movies that I make now was Mark Polonia. And he has done movies for both Wild Eye Releasing and SRS Cinema. And, he has very micro-budget movies, like maybe $1,000 to a couple $1,000s. But I started out with literally nothing. I had a phone. I didn't have a tripod, light, anything. So my parents actually bought me my first tripod probably around a year after I first started. So that's when everything's really kicked off. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. And then I started to get lights and more equipment, costumes, and costumes are a big part of it. They just opened the world for me because how I come up with my movies is really weird. So I'll look at a mask and be like, and I'll come up with the name of the movie based on what the mask is. So I'll look at it and be like, oh, that's the name of the movie. So this one that I'm wearing here, I had this skull mask that was like, it went all the way down to like the center of your chest, and you could see like kind of the ribs and stuff. It was really weird. But I looked at it, I was like, it's interesting. It kind of basic. It's a skull, but what could I do with this? And at the time, and it's still kind of, Amityville films were really big. They were selling because it was open domain. And if you know like the Amityville horror like franchise, that was a big thing back then. And now, since it's open domain, because it's the name of it's like the name of a city, so you can't really copyright it. I took that and I made Amityville Bloodbath, and I saw blood on the skull, and that's just kind of how I came up with the name. It's super easy. There's not as much blood in the film as you'd think, but it was fun. It was only like a 30-minute movie, but it got picked up by SRS, the distribution company that got me started on doing all of it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was just seeing those low budget directors and companies doing that kind of stuff is what really got me started.
Wow, yeah. And I actually got to meet you in person for the first time on a movie set. It was yours, actually. It was called Swatted, by the way. Go check it out. It's really fun. I play a dead guy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You actually taught me a lot, too, on that set where you put the sticker on my forehead and it made it look like a bullet hole.
Yep.
That was really cool because I didn't think that would work. I just saw you put a sticker on there. I was like, what is he doing?
Yep.
It actually worked really well. I was like, damn, that looks good.
Yep. And it's all about like anytime you use stuff like that, you slap some just like real fake blood on it, and it makes a drastic difference. And then but back then I didn't really know the different types of shades and thicknesses of blood. And then I went to Spirit, Party City, and all that, and I picked up tons, especially when they go on sale. And I've kind of messed around with them. Now I'm like a lot more familiar with how to blend them together and make them look more realistic and where they're used better. So, just knowing those little things also helps the quality of the film look way better. So
yeah. And something I learned too is blood gets darker when there's more of it, like where it's thicker.
Yes. And that's why my favorite one is the bloody scab stuff, because it is the stickiest blood you're going to get on you. And it can be once it sits on there on your skin for a while, it can be really uncomfortable. But it looks beautiful. And you don't have to worry about it just, soaking into your skin or drying off, because it's always going to be there unless you wipe it off. That's why I like it so much. So normally that's like my base, and then I put some droopy fake blood on it. For the shot.
Yeah, what we've done for Wayfinder is we barely just got a regular bottle of fake blood, but what it does is it's really bright when it's first applied and it's wet, but then it dries up.
I've seen your stuff, and I was going to ask you about that because it looks really good, and I like what it does.
Yeah, it like scabs up, so Yeah, that was fun. And I actually have like a huge line going down my face, and it was really uncomfortable. Actually, I have a funny story to tell you. So, after our second day of filming Wayfinder, it was me, Jackson, and Leo, and we still had our makeup on and stuff. And, well, Leo didn't have makeup on; he just had the buddy costume in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
So, we went to Sonic, and
Can't go wrong with Sonic.
yeah, can't go wrong with Sonic at all. Until the waiter comes up to you and she's like, "Hi, here's your." Oh my god! She looked at us. She's like, "Do I need to call someone?" And I was like, "No, we're good. We're good."
I think the closest I've been is whenever I filmed. There's a film called Clownopalooza that I filmed for actually SRS, and it's not actually fully out yet, but it's the title is out there. It's coming out very soon. It's an anthology, and I was filming down at the dunes, and that was the first time I filmed there because I found out from Raphael about that actually. And I had full on clown. I had a wig that I had this girl in my class. She's really good at like crisping it and stuff. So it was a crisp wig that was like put on me by this other dude with like tons of makeup that I had a makeup dude there put on me. So it was all over my face, nearly in my eyes and in my mouth and in my nose. And then I had this ginormous red and white dirty clown costume with dirt, mud, and blood all over it. And I looked horrendous. And also it was really hot that day, so the makeup was also like kind of like fading away from the sweat. So it was like I looked horrifying. Like I would look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my god! And I had to drive home all the way, which I don't live that far away, but I had to drive all the way home from there. And I just wonder because my windows in my car are not that tinted. So, yep, that was fun though.
Speaking of heat, I'm gonna go ahead and open that door real quick because it is hotter than usual. So, quick little break. I'll just cut. Alright, that should let some air in.
Bro, I keep looking around like it's like the freaking coolest thing. It's like a little mini museum.
Thank you. We actually haven't used a lot of the stuff in the movie. There's one of my awards right there.
Yeah.
Gotta pick up the mic for aesthetic. Yeah, there's one of my awards right there. This is just a light bulb we used for Wayfinder to make the light red. That was actually going to be my first movie right there.
Really?
Yeah, or at least my first BaNayNay one. Because we were going to make a film called Star Wars Snowfront, and that was one of the droids.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That was supposed to be a Stormtrooper helmet, and I gave up on that really fast. That's my first tripod there. It's 4 GoPros.
What?
So I would funny. There's like a little like thing right here, and I'd like cram my phone into it and use it, which it actually works.
Yeah. Better than what I had. I didn't have anything.
Yeah, you didn't have anything. This is for an upcoming project right there.
That's cool.
We used that in Assassin's game, which never got finished, sadly. But yeah, and then my mom got that off from Party City for like $5, I think.
Yeah. Was it whenever they were closing down this stuff?
Yeah.
Bro, that's whenever I got my I don't know if I did hear about that. Where I got all that stuff for it was $1,000 worth of stuff or something.
Yeah, that's where you got it from. I thought you got like an employee discount or something.
So I went to 3 or 4 Party Cities that were like closing down. Norman, and my parents helped me, so it was Moore, Norman. There's one in Edmond, just kind of ones that are around here, the closest ones we can get to. And we found tons. Like I have a storage of fake blood now. Like it's insane. And I almost went in to get the last little bit because it was like they were like pennies. I'm like, I need this stuff all the time. Whether I'm making a horror film or not, I'm probably gonna need blood. So I got tons of blood, and I still don't think I have enough. But
you have like a bucket of it. I remember he sent me a photo when we were getting ready to do Swatted. I am not kidding. He had like what was it, like a shelf of
there's a shelf of blood, and then I have 2 more gallons, and then a whole bunch of little tubes of different types of blood and all that. So it's
God forbid. He had like a trash can full of like bloody bandages too, which I'm not sure how one acquires that many. So
I don't know if you got told about this, but on the Demon That Danced by My Side set, I was doing special makeup effects. Oh my god, I don't know what I was trying to say there. But I was literally carrying out. I had my bloody scab, my favorite stuff, with a paintbrush. And I was like, "Is it blood time?" And Raph was like, "No, it's not blood time yet, Blaize." And then like scene after that, is it blood time? No, almost. Scene after that, oh, we have to retake it, but almost. And then finally, he was like, "Blaize, it's blood time." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Raph turned around, I just started blooding up his nose and stuff. And then it was so much fun.
It was like that scene in Avengers where he's like, Hulk smash.
That's exactly what it felt like. I was waiting.
I'm gonna make a meme of that.
Like whenever I wasn't acting, I was holding that blood, waiting for it to be used. I love. That's probably my most favorite thing, other than acting and directing on a set, is just makeup, because you can make it look so like it changes. Like the scene drastically. Like you can go from, I mean, they have nothing on their face to having like sometimes everything on their face, and it changes the whole feeling of the movie, because it just, and it's so fun because you get to do it yourself and make it look the way you want it to look, and it's amazing, and blend stuff, and it's your own. So
you really taught me a lot too after Swatted, especially with Wayfinder. We've been using that, and our method isn't really good. We'll just get a stick and then we'll like rub it on someone's face. Yeah, I'm not joking. For like the past 7 movies, we've been just getting like a stick and a tub of fake blood. We'll like dip the stick in and then rub it on someone's face like a paintbrush. And
oh god, it's better than what I used to do. I think I used to like pour it on people and just kind of like move it. It's terrible. Don't do that, because it can, one, you can have fingerprints, or like you can see finger marks, and it does not look good. 2, it can get the blood dirty, and it's just also not gonna look good.
I'm sure the stick isn't much better.
Nah, hey,
but
maybe not. But
Rafe had a weird method of doing. I guess he still uses it, but on Wayfinder, he applied it like lotion, like it was sunscreen. Yeah. So there's a fight scene. This isn't a spoiler for Wayfinder, by the way, but Jackson and Rafe have a very big fight scene. It's like maybe 5 minutes long. They filmed it for like an hour, and I got to watch. And between every cut, I am not kidding you, Rafe and Jackson would just like stand there, and then Rafe would be like, "More blood." He grabs the bottle like
boy,
like this, and then he like puts it on his hands like sunscreen, rubs it on his hands, and then does this like it's lotion. I'm standing there. I'm like,
that's insane.
Like it was kind of traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh.
He was covered in red after that. It was like, I don't know how one bleeds that much.
Mm-hmm. But hey, that's my boy right there.
Yeah,
good job, Raph.
He was really good at it too. It was great. He made that movie so much better. He genuinely made Wayfinder so much better, because him and I have a very like hostile dynamic in that movie. Like, we're just cussing each other out. It's so fun.
That's hilarious. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, there's a scene it's, I don't know how to describe it. So it's me and Jackson, because we're brothers in the movie. Jackson's the main character. We like walk behind Rafe, and he's basically just roasting us for being slow or something. And then he's like, "What are your ranks?" And then I tell him I'm the captain. He's like, "Oh, so you're the captain." He tries to shake my hand after being an asshole for 5 minutes. And then I just like look at it, and this was improvised too. I look at it, I'm like, "Let's keep walking." And he goes, "I'm Harrison Allen." And I go, "I don't give a damn." And Leo was laughing so hard on the first take, so we had to redo it. But that was
I'd probably be laughing too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene in the movie. Genuinely, it's such a funny scene, and it's so great. And y'all are gonna love Wayfinder.
Bro, I cannot wait for that movie. It's gonna be so good. I know it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We might be having to do reshoots, so if we do that, I'll let you know and you can help.
For sure, yeah. So, anything behind the scenes, even like anything you need, I got you.
Makeup would be pretty useful too, other than just
I bring my paintbrushes. I need to like find my own like I'll show up on set with BT, my first and last initial like written in blood on my cheek or something. It'd be like a tattoo.
You were a freak for blood. Like, you were a vampire, bro.
Yep. Yep.
My God. But yeah, no, that'd be great, honestly. Um, so back on to you because I feel like I've kind of made this the me show for a little bit.
No, it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, but so is there anything you want to like talk about in terms of like your upcoming movies and stuff?
Well, there's Mean Boat. That's my biggest one. The one that I
Mean Boat,
raised
yeah.
money for. I've got over $1,000 for it. So
That's a lot of money.
I've, been camera, audio, and all that type of stuff. I have producers behind it now. So
Really?
I have like 50 people because there is people who I have executive producers, people who are remote acting, all kinds of stuff. So it'll be really fun. It's the first film I've done a lot of things on, like little things, like I paid someone to make me an artwork, like an actual artist who did the graphic designing and drawing and everything. He did fantastic.
Was that the main poster?
Yeah, so it's like the one with he's like.
Yeah, I wondered how you got that.
Yeah.
I thought you like took a picture of like you in a t-shirt and then like a.
That's how I gave him like me in a costume and he made it. So
yeah,
he's freaking awesome. I'll give you his stuff if you want. He's pretty good price too, and he does a phenomenal job. The graphic novelty designs and it's beautiful. It's like kind of 80s vibes and I love it. It looks awesome.
I thought that's what you were going for. It reminded me of 80s vibes. But yeah, I usually don't like to hire artists because I like to do my own posters and stuff.
Yeah,
and I think like people like Leo also.
Y'all are good at it. I'm not very good at making my own artwork. There's every now and then I'm like, oh, that's not as bad as my other ones, but then I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah,
but
I do the same thing where I'm like, oh, that could have been better. And yeah, I think my favorite poster that we've gotten for a movie so far is the Rotten Apple one.
That one looks cool. I love that.
That was Leo's idea because originally my idea was just to have us all on like a wall and like all of us just kind of like sitting down and then I don't know, like maybe eating an apple or something stupid. And then Leo's like, no, I don't like that. Let's have all of y'all like above me in a circle. And I was like, oh, okay,
that's cool. See, that's creative. That was a good idea.
Yeah, that was a very good idea. And then I did the title card bit. He took the photo. I did all like the cover art stuff where it was like the directed by Leonidas Mears, like the cast role.
See, I suck at that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I think I'm better at editing than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
I today on my YouTube channel, I think it's still uploading, but today I shot a short film at my tech school and I just edited it before I came here and then I'm trying to upload it now, so that should be up there soon. It's called Don't Trust Anyone.
Oh, that's scary. That's a scary title.
It's me and this girl, and essentially she's been in a lot of my previous ones and the test.
Yeah, I watched that recently. That was so good.
Yeah, so it's along the same lines of that, but it's different. So short synopsis, it's after school. This girl wants to hang out. Or she said she wanted to hang out a week ago. She's like best friend, and
Riz.
It's gonna seem like that probably, but we take her inside. I'm a very creepy individual at the end, and then she ends up. You'll have to watch the rest.
I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna leave it off like creepy individual. I was like, oh, okay.
In order to not give it away, because it's not that long. It's a very short film, but just go watch it. It'll be on my YouTube channel. And then you have the Grim Spike that came out. Oh, Shits and Giggles is going to be a feature that I do want to see if you and LNL can help me with. And
of course.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be horrendous. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be like Hard Eyes. Like if you ever watch it, like it's going to be funny, but it's going to be like, what in the world is this? Like this is crazy and amazing at the same time. And I got my inspiration from Hard Eyes. Like the whole point of it is Hard Eyes was like targeting couples. This is targeting stupid idiots that are doing stupid things. It's like, well, why'd you do that? So, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun and funny, and the horror slasher, and it for me with the blood aspect, and I have fake tongues and stuff like that. So I've used
the fake tongues,
and I want to get ears and all kinds of limbs. I have fake arms too, and just kind of really own my skill in that and show it in that film. But yeah, and that artwork I didn't make. I had a buddy work on that in New York. He's awesome. So
Oh, you got connections. Honestly, I thought that was like an AI generated thing.
I think it is. He has done some. So that crowbar poster that you may have seen with me in it, he did that one, and I'm pretty sure that one was AI. But I was like, I've tried to do that stuff before. How did you make it look like that? Like I tried to do one for the shits and giggles, and I couldn't do it. I tried to make my own, tried to do the AI. I'm like, I can't do this. I need to see if someone else can do it. So I contacted him. I was like, hey, do you think you could give this a shot? Because it's not working for me. And I asked him what he did, and I tried it. It wasn't working. He came out with that, and like another one I might have to show you. And I'm like, great. Can I use that? He's like, yeah, it's yours. Bet. Like it looks amazing, and like it looks like something I go to a movie and like see on the wall or something. So
wow,
yeah, it looks phenomenal, and it literally it matches my costume so well too. Like if I showed you the costume, like it's a little more like I don't want to say like it's not as dark, but it's like the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So it's pretty cool. I am very proud of that. That's gonna be a fun project. So.
Yeah. I can't wait to help with shits and giggles. I just saw the title and I was like, I'm in.
Yep.
I didn't even need to read the plot, but the plot is also very cool too. I was like, oh yeah, I want to help out with this.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, I just saw the title. And I was like, yes.
Yep.
Immediately, like 1,000 times, yes. Okay. Anything with a cuss word in it, you've got me signed up.
Yep.
Yeah. It just sounds like a lot of fun. And speaking of, because I know you mentioned it earlier, Grim Spike just came out. That was actually filmed on the same day as Rotten Apple. So
yes, it was.
Yeah, Rafe and Paxton were just coming fresh from that. What was that like?
Well, whenever Rafe showed up, his hands were all red, and so the entire Grim Spike movie, his hands are just red. Yeah. I was like, well, you could be like some sort of Martian guy who's like from a different planet, and you're just kind of weird or something, you know? Like it's like based on a different planet. You don't have to be perfect.
You're like, a freak.
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. But he did good. It was I got there early. Paxton showed up first. We talked about it. I got the first shots I took were just some like B-roll, shots of like a chair and all that kind of stuff. And then Raph showed up and we got to rolling. And originally I wanted it to be a feature film, and it didn't turn out that way. And I actually wanted to see if I could get it to 30 minutes, but it was getting there, but we didn't get there. And it was also the whole reason we may have been able to stay for a little bit longer and shoot, but it was going to rain like in 10 minutes. We had to get out of there, which would have been great for the scenery part of it and film part of it, but it was going to be like thunderstorms. It wasn't worth it. It was too dangerous and dangerous. And we were in like the woods, so we had to get all the way out of there, go back to the parking lot. So yeah, I've thought about doing like that, be like the first look and then do like a feature of it. And Raph was like down to do like a second one or something. So it might end up in the future. We might do that. And maybe I can bring on more cast members, maybe bring you on and all kinds of stuff.
I'd love to help out with that. Yeah. I was so pissed off because he sent me an invitation right after we had filmed Rotten Apple, and I had just pulled into my driveway. I opened my Instagram and I see that because Instagram doesn't notify me for some reason. So I look at it and I was like, fuck! Damn it! I'm gonna have to censor that.
That I was like, oh, I gotta get something else because I wanted you. And I knew what the chances. I messaged. There was James Allred. I answered Jackson. I think that may have been it. I think Kyle too. I messaged Kyle, but they were all doing something. They had like a podcast and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, Kyle was filming something with Leo for his podcast, which, by the way, we copied.
Yeah, and no, that was a good podcast. I watched the entire thing. That was so interesting.
Yeah. I watched that too. I was like, wow, that was great.
And I actually, today, before I came, I also watched all of Rotten Apple, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I watched it for the first time today too.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it this morning because I never actually saw the full cut. Yeah, it was weird because I knew how it ended because, of course, because I was in it. And I was actually getting stressed towards the end.
And it ended. I was like, "No, I want more. Why? Don't do this." It was good. Like I actually enjoyed it. I wanted more of it. But yeah. And what's great is I saw the runtime. Great runtime. Didn't feel like that runtime, which is also good because like it felt like it flew by. and I wanted more. I was like, that's crazy for me because sometimes I'm like, that's a good runtime, good. It wasn't long. No, I want that to be longer. Like that was fun. It was crazy. There was always something going on.
Yeah, there's just something about that was just so exciting. I think it was also the fact that it was like in one take, which, by the way, it really wasn't. You can tell, but I think there's only really 2 cuts in there that were super good, and then there was a couple that were like, all right, that was good, but you knew that it cut, and the rest were like, and me and Leo were talking about that too, and that was also partly because the actors were talking mid cut too.
That's tough. Yeah.
Like that was my bad on the first one where I was like, "What happened to blah blah blah," and then like it cuts halfway through that sentence, and then Rafe was like, "He's dead," and then I was like, "No." Yeah, I got to watch that today. It was really cool, and a lot of people I know you can ask them. I was really excited to see that. I was like, "Oh my god, guys, it's coming out today!" And they're like, "Cool."
Go watch it. It's actually really good. I
showed a couple of them. They were like, "Wow, this is actually really exciting." I was like, "I know, right? It's like Power Rangers but bad guys."
Yep.
Like that's how my dad described it. He was like, "So why are y'all like the Power Rangers but bank robbers?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Thanks, Dad. That's really encouraging."
Yeah.
And
we got reference to Power Rangers.
Yeah. It was funny. My dad messed with me. He showed me like these like Speedos on Amazon, and they were like color coded. He's like, "Y'all should have used this for Rotten Apple," and I was like, "Oh,
that was hilarious."
Now I'm like regretting not doing it, like having it like Trunks on a superhero or something.
Could have had that as the poster, got more views or something.
I would have watched it even more for that.
Yep.
I would have been like, "Ooh," no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, dude, I was so sad you didn't get to be there. Because I texted you, you were like, "Oh, I have lunch with my girlfriend." I was like, "Oh, get Rizzy."
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been great if you were there, man.
Yeah.
It would have been great. That would have been awesome.
I was bummed, but I know there's gonna be more opportunities, so I'll try to be there for those too. So.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple right now. Lost Boys Experiment, I told you about that.
Which sounds really interesting too.
Yeah, and then me and James are in the works. Don't get excited. Don't get your hopes up. I'm sure nobody's gonna. But me and James are working on rebooting a Hunt movie, like not making Hunted, but like actually rebooting and doing it with like proper resource. Because a couple of people brought that up to me recently. I was like, not bad. Yeah. So then I was talking about it with James today. I was like, yeah, I've like really had a lot of thought about this. What if we actually did that and made it better? Because now we know how to actually properly do that stuff and not make it suck. So I was like, yeah, that'd be a fun like little filler project. Let's do it. Yeah, we're trying to get that done. And that's not gonna really take a lot of time. I'm just gonna write a script for it. I'm gonna see who I want where and how we're gonna do it. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
But it's not confirmed right now, so don't get your hopes up.
But no, I'm just kidding.
Yep. However, yeah, but so I'm trying to think of more questions to ask. I don't write questions beforehand, which is stupid. Yeah, is there any other projects you want to talk about?
There's which ones can I really talk about? So I'm going to be in Quintet.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's exciting.
Yes, I'm excited about that one. The first time Ref like introduced me to that, I was like, count me in, dude. Like 1,000% yes. I think if there's gore, I think I'm on gore in that one. I don't know. There's a few. I'm confused. I'm on some of them. I can't keep track of when they are, which one's first or not. But there's Of Shadows. That one's gonna be really fun. I'm knocking stuff over. Okay. I've also got there's Of Shadows Quintet. There's another one that's releasing called Camp Murder 2 that I think I'm gonna have a small part in. And that's a sequel to the first one, obviously. Hence, it's called Camp Murder 2. That one got a campaign, and I'd be traveling down to Dallas for it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yes, and so that'll be more in July, I think is when we're filming that. It's supposed to be in May. is it May now, I think?
It's May now, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be this month, and it got moved to July, which is fine. So that one will be fun. That's a little bit of a bigger project. So that's kind of something to look forward to. Plus, I have to travel for that, and it's kind of fun. And then, there's the Amniverse. It's just called Amniverse. If you look it up on IMDb or something, you'll see it. And that's the one that Clownopalooza's in. And I filmed that last year in like October like November. And it's supposed to come out here and within the next few months, I think. And there's going to be 3 movies in that installment. There's Amniverse, Amniverse Infinity, and Amniverse Endgame. It's kind of like the Marvel universe, but in Amityville.
Can you imagine Thanos just comes up?
One of the posters, I can tell it's like a purple monster creature. It's the Amniverse Infinity one, and it's like this monster creature inhaling the Amityville house. And it looks sick, but you can tell they took inspiration from that. But the Amniverse poster doesn't really look like any of the colors or anything from Marvel. It's actually really cool. But that one, I think I'm like headlined as one of the directors in that. There's like 10 directors in that one.
Oh my god.
But there's some really fun projects, and that one I got given a budget to create the short film, and it's only like a 9-minute short film, so it was like I have some flexibility here. So that was really fun. I got some good actors, like professional actors who have worked with OFA, which is the acting. So they've had acting classes and all this stuff. OCCC classes and all that fun stuff. They were really good actors. I had a cinematographer, a makeup artist. I had a PA, a production assistant on that set too, which is like, big help. So yeah, that was a fun project. I have
employees.
Yeah. So that was a fun project. That was definitely more Terrifier vibes. We're going to say one thing that you didn't hear me say, but I ripped someone's tongue out, and with like a cleaver, I stab him in the chest and like throw it, and it hits them. It's fun stuff. So just stay tuned for that. It's really fun. Good amount of blood. I even have a dude who spits out blood a lot and gargling. It's first time I did that, which whenever that comes out, we'll talk about that. That was fun. The way we made that gargling stuff was the most basic thing, but it worked. So it's exciting.
I'm still on the tongue bit.
I'm really good. Well, it's hard to find the right sound effects, but I've been getting better at sound effects like that. So I hear is the entire time. It's so gross, but it's perfect. It makes it better. Makes it better.
Oh my god!
For not making my own sound effects with that and finding all of them and mushing them, because I put like slimy like effects and like some bone cracking effects, and like I put it all together, and it worked really well. So sound effects are so much fun. But yeah, I'm excited for that one because that's my first one that is like a good cinema looking project I think I've made. Other than it'll probably be Shits and Giggles. Swatted was pretty cinematic, but yeah, I'm excited.
Speaking of cinematics, your cinematography is really good, dude.
This tech school I'm going to has helped me so much because it's helped me look at some of my friends' projects and all this stuff. And I've been to studios, and I'm a VFX intern at a studio. I guess I can throw that in there. I don't know for how much longer, but I am right now. And so that's giving me tons of info. I mean, they're still like lower budget movies, but they've worked with Lionsgate and all these films or companies. So it's definitely been a game changer to my filming and my career with that. So I've actually been to Prey Surf Studios downtown where they filmed Twisters and Tulsa King and all that. Met Matt Payne. He likes my stuff on social media sometimes, so that's pretty cool. And I've been to Filmmakers Ranch here and UCO, OCCC, been all those places. And sometimes I'll go down to OCCC to do acting gigs or even background gigs or something that they need me to do. So that's fun because those are like huge cameras and huge like film sets. And I'm like, that's where you get like that experience from, is seeing like the most recent one I went on was like there were so many people. Like there was second AC, which is like second assistant camera. There may have been a third AC. There were so many people. You had there was like a director, a producer, an assistant director. Um, Lots of background. There's like two or three of the main people. There was lots of people. Lots of people. There was lighting people. There was blocking people. It was just insane. That was probably one of the most crazy film sets I've been on, but it was a blast, and I would so do it again. Um, and I take things from every set I'm on, whether it's good or bad. I'm always taking something from it, getting better. I'm learning from it. So, and that leads me to like with my more recent ones, like the letter boxes or whatever, those little black boxes that are on like the outsides of your movie that make it more like the aspect ratio is different. So like what you'd see on a normal YouTube video would be like a 16:9. It's just the way it is. And I think I can film in like 5:1 or something like that. Aspect ratios are weird, but it's something like that, and it just kind of makes it more widescreened, other than like the full screen, I think. And so that's been a big game changer to my movies.
You know what I used to do before I knew aspect ratio was a thing when I was younger? I used to like edit in little black bars at the top and bottom just to make it look more cinematic.
It really does make it look more cinematic, and it's not needed because I've talked to multiple like kind of professionals about like, what do you like? Do you like them? He's like, they're nice. They can make things look more cinematic, but it's not needed. You don't need it all. It's not what makes it cinematic. You make it cinematic. But it's nice to have, like, it does look nice sometimes, and it does make a difference. But even like the way Demon was shot and everything, like, it's not about that, But it's for what I've been doing recently. I've been in love with it. I feel like it's gonna die off one of these days, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna go back to it. But right now, I'm in love with it, and like I'm shooting everything, knowing that I'm gonna put that in there, and it's like amazing, and I love it so much. But yeah, and then I'm think I'm getting better at like color grading stuff, because it'll be like a really bright moment, and then it'll move to like a dark moment, and then like the whole film shifts to like a dark setting, and I love doing that, especially with the music, because it just sets the entire mood, and it's amazing. But yeah,
that's really cool. Color grading is super important, honestly.
it is. And for Mean Boat, I'm not the best at it. I'll adjust my own sometimes. I'll use filters and adjust the filters sometimes. I use different things. Just like with music, I used to just find like a music track that would fit something, but now I merge music tracks together and soundtracks together to create a whole different vibe. So it's kind of my own when I'm like DJing it a little bit instead of just, oh, perfect, it fits the mood. No, for my more recent one, there's like one track and then it moves on to fade into another track on top of that track, and it's like more of a bass synth on top of this, like, you'll probably see it whenever it comes out. It's the Don't Trust Anyone. It was so much fun. But yep, I thought I was gonna say something else. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I always ask people for their opinions. And one thing is, what I like to talk about is like whenever you're making a project, and let's say I've actually talked to my VFX boss about this, how you make something, you want everyone to see it, get any input, whether it's good or bad. It's better to get bad input than no input, because if I'm making something and it's not getting seen by anyone, then what's the point of me making it? Like, I want it to get seen, and I want to get feedback from it. Like, if it's actual garbage and you think it deserves to be at the very depths of the ocean, like, tell me that. And other than not getting anything at all, like, a silent comment section is worse than a filled like diss comment section, because like, oh well, this person's viewing my movies, like I have the 2,000 views instead of the 20 views with no comments, no likes, nothing. So it's just like, it makes just views and comments, that's all it helps. And obviously, I'm not gonna let any bad comment, they're not even bad comments, they're just like comments that can help me in the future, of like, well, you didn't do this, and this looks off, and this sounds weird. Like, okay, well, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I'm not going to be mad about that stuff. and I understand it. It may suck sometimes, but you know, you kind of just suck it up and move on. There's like 1,000 billion more projects you can make, and they're not all going to be winners. They're just not. But you learn from every single one of them, so it's good to get that kind of feedback. And even on projects, someone's going to think, and with even Hollywood movies, they're going to think this is the best movie ever, and you might think it's the worst movie ever. So stuff like that. Like, I'm in love with Terrifier movies. I know many people who don't like those movies for many reasons. Or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's like an 80s movie, and it's old, low budget. I think it's one of the best movies of all time. Someone will be like, it's horrible. I don't know why you like it. It's not for everybody. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on that hater seat right there for Killer Clowns.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really cool, honestly. And like you said, it's just the hate comments. Like, BaNayNay's only ever gotten like a couple, but they're never like really like intuitive. Like, they never really have input. It's just more like, this sucks. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, and I'll delete it because it's useless.
Yeah.
Like, there's been like maybe one or two that have been like actual like feedback, and I like keep them. They'll be like, okay, this wasn't very good, but it was really only like the camera work or something. And I'll be like, okay, thanks.
Camera work.
And
that way, next project. Okay, our camera work needs to be worked on. I love that. I want more people to actually comment like that on my movies. Like, I don't get enough people that like tell me, like, there's got to be something I need to fix. Tell me what I need to fix. I want to know what I need to fix. Like, actually, like, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm gonna be more grateful than anything. So yeah, I love the feedback.
Yeah,
good or
same.
bad.
And that's kind of what happened with Dead End. There was a lot of stuff on like the camera work for Dead End, so that's what I worked on with Silhouette. And that looks like two separate people made it.
Yes.
Compared to
if you meshed
Dead End.
both aspect or a lot of aspects from both of those together, I think they'd both be fantastic movies. They both are fantastic movies, but you know, the amazing stuff from Silhouette and the amazing stuff from Dead End, you put them together and weigh their differences, it'd be not as much to really. Well, there's something wrong with the camera. We're not really anymore, you know. So, I mean, the way y'all just kind of like got rid of that is like y'all are already on the right track. Like, you don't really have to worry about anything, and you guys fix it. You know, you don't y'all aren't just like every single movie bad. Like, that is not the case at all. And like every single movie y'all come out with, there's something drastically different and better about every single one. Like, you can tell, like, it's so different in the best way. So,
thank you. You know, that really means a lot, especially coming from you too, because your like movies are actually great, and I enjoy watching every single one.
Like Dr. Scalpel, which we don't talk about that one. That one's
no. Hang on, I need to hear more.
Dr. Scalpel. The story was good. It could be a great story. Probably now. If I remade it now, I could probably make it better. But horrible. I was the cast member and I played two people. I did
remember those days. Playing multiple people in your own movies.
Yep, I played a doctor. I had like stuff on under my pants, and then I would take those off and put stuff on over my current clothes, and like I had these scrubs, and it was just the whole thing. And then there was a movie that I canceled because it was a little too. I'll talk about that one just a little bit. So it was called Homemade Revenge, and I got this paper bag. I made my completely own mask. It was this paper bag. I carved out a mouth, eyes, and I created like this little Joker face on it, and with like a tape around the neck thing. It was kind of weird and creepy, but I had a kitchen knife. Okay.
As one does.
Yes, and the outfit was just plain. It was about this kid who got bullied. He was kind of psychotic, and he's kind of suicidal in a way. And it would have been a great story if I hadn't messed it all up, which was my fault. So I went out to like the woods area of my house, and in my full-on, horrifying, surprisingly homemade-looking outfit with a straight-up thick watermelon-looking kitchen knife. It wasn't warm, like those thick ones, and like big, and they're shiny. Went out there just in the woods. Not necessarily a cleaver, but like it was just a big kitchen knife. And I just went out in the woods. It was kind of like in a park area. So anyone, I think anyone could walk by. There was like houses with windows that could see me just in the neighborhood, and I was like just stabbing into a tree and with like a camera, but no one saw the camera. So I was like, okay, this is not good. I came out to the woods by myself with this mask and a real knife that is sharp and shiny, and I was like, nah, okay. So I didn't have a fake knife either at the time. I just kind of canceled that project because there's the risks of that project were getting too, well, they were getting too risky. So I put that one off and canceled it. But it was probably would have been a good film. And then that leads us to, there's a lot I could talk about, but I've done stuff for a dude in Louisiana. And then I directed, one of my biggest moments was directing a film in his franchise, which was the 11th installment in his franchise.
Dang.
And it was like a found footage anthology, and I hadn't really been into found footage. I haven't done anything found footage until then. And then there's Amityville Bloodbath that came out. After that, there was, and I've done stuff for other people. I've done stuff for a dude who's a best friend in Tampa, Florida, Texas, I think California, New York, Pennsylvania, all kinds of places. So I know people around, and they'll help me promote, produce, act, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a plus.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
There's a lot. But
yeah, you're serious about this stuff too. Like, there's like BaNayNay members that are like, I don't think I want to do this afterwards. But like, you are like all in on that.
Yes.
So that's really awesome. Especially
and I get input, so I'm not trying to like be completely on my own. Like sometimes I'll like, that's with directing. I used to not actually be the best director. Like I didn't direct very well, and I got told like, dude, you need to be like a little bit more of a bleep on a freaking set. Like you need to be a jerk, because I wasn't enough. Like I was way too nice, and I didn't really execute what I needed to execute, and people were getting away with stuff they probably shouldn't have gotten away with. Well, recently, like I'm not an absolute jerk on set, but like I've definitely been more directorial and been like, okay guys, like we need to get this done. I only have this much time, like let's do this. Instead of just like laughing with them and stuff. Like, no guys, like I'm kind of being the boss in that situation. And I used to be horrible. I used to not get stuff done because of that. And now I'm like, today we shot maybe this short film like an hour, which back then probably would have taken 2 days because we just talk. But no, it was fun. And it's hard to balance it because you don't want to be an actual jerk where no one's going to want to do anything for you, right? But you want to have that thing where people are like, oh my god, this dude gets his stuff out. Like I love doing stuff for him because I know he's going to release it. And that's what a lot of people I work with now, they're like, I love doing stuff for Blaize because I know his movies get released, unlike some people who like make this movie and it doesn't come out for 3 years and it's still not done. Because I know people like that, and it's annoying. Or we're not going to go far into that, but yeah. So that's motivated me to become that kind of person who's like, I'm going to shoot a feature in a month and get it released the next, or at most. The longest project that took me the longest was probably Santa Claus because of I was busy with school. I got in a leadership position at work, and I was busy all the time. The cast members that I had were always busy as well, and so it was hard to find time to shoot when I needed to shoot. And that involved it taking us about a year to film it. But then I released it as soon as it was done. I was on a hustle. As soon as I finished editing, shot a commentary, made the DVD art, everything, published it on DVD, sold it. I was on a hustle. And now it's getting released through a different company. Thank gosh. It took me a while because at the time I wanted it to get released right before Christmas, and I got out right before Christmas, like a hair before Christmas, by myself as a self-distributor. And then just recently, like last month, someone picked it up from me, and now they have some of the rights to the film, and they're going to have DVDs and put it on streaming services, which is really cool, which is what I wanted for it originally, because it's my first ever feature film with Santa Claus. So that was fun. But I don't remember what the topic was that we were talking about. But yeah, there's
Santa Claus.
I don't
either. Yeah, I think I've just been letting you like go on and on about that. But yeah, back to what you said about directing. Man, that is not easy because I remember during Banana Man, I was a lot nicer. The Hunt is where I got a little more serious, and then like Down the Wild and the Piano, it was rough. And
it's hard because some people aren't gonna agree with what you want to do, but then sometimes it's not that. What's hard, which I totally get from someone else's perspective, like I understand, but they'll be like, well, why don't you do this? Because that's not what my vision is. And I'll listen to people if sometimes they have good ideas, and I'll take and ask if I can use their ideas because like this is great. Like, do you mind if I use this? Sometimes like it's not really what I'm going for. I want to do this, and I was set to do this. Just not this time. Some people get mad about that, but it's not the movie they're shooting. Like it's not their film, and that's what's frustrating because like I've had those moments, and I've had to like set my point where like I that's not what I'm trying to shoot. But like you don't want to make that person mad because you need that person like as a valuable person. So keeping yourself in those situations to a point where you can be like, okay, how do I say this without causing any type of like beef with this person? I need this person. So that stuff's really hard to get around because I've had to deal with it so many times. More recently, in my bigger projects that I have a lot more, like Me Boat coming up, I have an assistant director. It's actually a co-director, so it's a little bit higher. Like he's next to me, and we don't get along on a lot of the same ideas sometimes. And it's my movie. I came up with the whole idea. I raised the money. I'm coming up. I paid for the artwork. I'm paying for everything. Like it's my movie, and so we've been getting along more recently about it. We're really it's about communication. We're communicating a lot more on what we're trying to do, what he wants to do, what I want to do. We're both listening to each other's ideas and kind of implementing them together because that's what you have to do. Sometimes you'll have that person where you're like, we get along great together. Like all of our ideas, like we don't argue or anything. I mean, I've had those people too where it's just fantastic. And like literally we mesh our ideas together so well. And I never have intentions to argue with anyone ever. So it's a challenge no matter where you are. And even as an actor, like you don't want to make any of your cast members mad. You don't know how sensitive they may be or anything like that. So you have to take all of those things into consideration whenever you're making something. It's stressful.
Yeah. And I remember back in like the early days of BaNayNay where it was like you could not argue with someone, and if they left, it would be like you were screwed. Because there's a certain cast member, not going to say the name, just kidding, Nikolai. He used to be very like argumentative about like plot stuff, and he's gotten way better about that now. Like he won't like really be like all up in it. Because I remember like for Banana Man, it was just the scene where they come up the stairs. It was just a small scene. We spent 40 minutes on it because he kept arguing about what to do in it, and which we really didn't have that time because keep in mind we're just at James's birthday party, which was only like 2 hours long, which we extended to 3 hours because like we wanted to get that done, and yeah, and then it didn't really happen with the Hunt that much, and I don't know why, but like I would always like my main argument would be like, all right, here's my vision, guys, and then they'd all shut up and listen. It was great. You can see that in like the behind the scenes footage thing on the at the back, which is in like terrible quality, but yeah. And then like I think after the Hunt 2, that really stopped with Nikolai, but yeah, it was rough back then. Now he's like, if he says something, you want to listen.
Yes.
Because he's got really good ideas. And
like, I love, like, some of the things in some of my films, like, it probably wouldn't have been as successful or as good if I didn't take, like, what I hate about those people on certain sets, because I've been on sets where it's like, no, we're sticking to, I don't like specifically sticking to, it's a guideline for me. Like I will look at the script and see if we'll do this. Oh, we're gonna change that. This. Oh, no, I don't like that either. We're gonna change this, and then maybe I'll copy more things. Oh wait, I don't like that either. And you just come up with more ideas, and I don't use it as this is what we're doing. We're going off of this somewhat, but it's just a guideline of what we're trying to go through, So, I hate whenever like in Hollywood, whenever they just go off, which sometimes they don't, but depends on the director and all that, but you just go off a script, and I hate that. And my visual effects guy at my boss, I talked about that. We talk about stuff a lot. But he's like, yeah, I really use mine as kind of like a guideline whenever I'm filming. I don't copy this to par. Like there's like some of the lines are the same. Sometimes I'll change the lines. Sometimes I'll change a scene. Sometimes I'll change a whole shot. Which leads us to shot lists, which I'm having to do more often because my actors that I've been using, they're more professional actors. They've worked on big film sets, and they expect more, and they are more. Well, they're more actors, so they're very picky. They're like, I need a shot list. Where is this? Where are we doing this? Where's that? So now I'm like, now I have to start doing shot lists. Now I have to start making times, lunch breaks, all this stuff, and it's oh my gosh. So for shits and giggles, I'm probably gonna, and it's not like super difficult. Like if I know what I'm doing, putting a shot list together isn't super hard. But it's just like if I'm making a shot list, if I'm casting actors, if I'm finding location, making times, making sure that it's available for everyone to be here at this time, it takes forever. That's probably one of the longest processes because once I have the footage, that's up to like I can work at my own pace. That I can get done in a day, 2 days, weeks, months, years. But leading up to that, I have to figure out the time period where everyone's going to be available at this time, or else I'm not going to be able to make this movie, right? So and sometimes you have to be graceful when you're not paying someone, which I want to get to the point where I think I paid people one time. It was like $20, 2 or 3 people, because they were just wouldn't budge. I'm like, 20, $30? Okay, we'll do it. Thank God, sometimes just a little bit of money will help. And that was out of my own pocket. I didn't raise that. I didn't give them money for the production for that. And eventually, I want to get to the point where I have the money to pay my actors, because I know as an actor, like it can be stressful, it can be hard, it can be long, and you can get hungry and food. And if anything, I've been trying to provide more water on my film set. That's numero uno. If you were outside anything for Clonopalooza, I had a case of water. I gave someone money at PayPal. Hey, can you run a 7-Eleven? Go get a case of water. It makes a drastic change. Like people like when you take care of them, and especially your actors. Like you have to take care of your set people. And earlier on, I wasn't doing that, which was a big mistake. Because when you go to film school, one of the biggest things that they're going to say is, sure, you want to pay your actors, but if you don't have money to do that, provide for them. Food, drinks, whatever it may be. That is going to be your biggest thing that you want to do. And just water, chips. Like you can get one of those variety packs of chips at the store. Boom. A case of water. Boom. Chilling. Something better than nothing, right? Especially as a low budget filmmaker. Dude, I would cater TEDs if I could. All right. But sometimes you don't have the money to do that. So you have to work around it. And it sucks. I totally wish I could like cater, Texas Roadhouse, TEDs or something, but IRL like can't do that. Or else, I'm not gonna be able to make this movie. So you have to, it takes a lot of planning on that, and it's fun and stressful at the same time. So
yeah, for Dead End, we just sacrificed my pantry. Let all the actors have at it. I'm not kidding. I'm like, as soon as we walked in, I was like, "All right, boys, take something." And that pantry was empty by the night. And gave them all drinks too. My mom went and got like 8 boxes of pizza. They were all gone. And this is like the beginning of the second day, so like there was no need for us to be that like into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, there's just so much I wish we did differently for Dead End.
Yeah, but like for what I'm trying to do now too is like set a budget for movies. Like I'm gonna go map out what I need, and also what I have already. So maybe I don't need to buy this. So like for shits and giggles, I'm probably gonna do that because that's gonna be a bigger project because there's a slight chance that's probably gonna get distributed. I'm about distribution because once you get in it, you find out how easy it is to make something, and then you don't have to deal with getting it out there. That's distributor deals with that. It's like that's nice, dude. Put it on DVD for me, nice. Dude's promoting it for me, nice. And it has my name and production company on it, and it's like I'm in there, and he's like getting it on streaming. You don't have to worry about it, and it's like it's crazy nice. And so, until then, like I'd probably distribute it through my own DVD thing that I do. But it's not as good because I don't have like title. I don't know how to do like title screens where you press like play menu and all that. I don't know how to do that, but the distribution companies that I use, they do that, which is cool because like when you have a movie that you have to like scroll to find the play and like the scene, it's so cool. I don't know how to do that. Like I can put a whole movie together, put trailers in the beginning, put your film. What I normally do is out for the Demon that Danced by My Side. What I did for the DVD was I put the trailer. It's like in our feature presentation, cut movie.
I'm sorry, that has a DVD.
It does. I made a DVD for it.
Where do I buy?
Tell you about that?
Where
I didn't tell you about that?
No.
Well,
Casually mentions that.
I would contact Raph and have, because Raph's the one who's getting income from those, and I need to talk to him. I'm trying to get him to like kind of promote. I don't think he's promoted it at all. And they've been fine. They've been good. I've checked it. I did my checkup on the DVD. Everything's checked out. Like everything's good. The quality's good. The sound's good. Everything. I did all the artwork on the front. Well, I imported the front. That's all Raph's or whatever. But I did the side and back artwork all my own, and it looks pretty good. I'll have to show you. I have pictures of. But it looks great. So if you want a copy of that, I would contact Raphael, ask him about pricing, and then he'll probably get in contact with me about shipping and stuff. But yeah, it has DVD. So
I would buy that,
dude. And like, if you wanted one of your movies to have a DVD, I got you, bro. I got you. You just send it over.
I'm still trying to think of like my big project because I've been kind of like building all this like knowledge up, and now I'm ready for or at least I think I am to make like my own big one. So
yeah,
because I've been trying to work on editing, which I've got down. I've got cinematography.
Your editing's
down.
been so good recently.
Thank you.
Really good.
I really appreciate it.
Did you do all the editing for Silhouette?
Yeah, that was on me.
Ooh,
I all the music too.
And I love what I can't do. I can do some, but not like exactly what you do whenever you're doing gunshots and it's hitting a human where you have like the blood effect. And it's not like super CGI and it looks like garbage. I can't. It's like settle, and that's what I like about it. Because like whenever I was also watching The Hostage the other day, I don't think I finished it to be honest, but I was watching it and I remember the blood effects whenever you shot. It was like settle, but it looked more realistic than what I've done in the past. And I'm like, how or where do you get that? Because like
I'll tell you, YouTube and its green screen effects.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just like take out the green and I'll increase the intensity of it, and it
like you like chroma key it?
Yeah, chroma key.
That's exactly what it is. I love chroma key. It helps
so good.
It helps so
it's
much.
So
that's how I got the monster.
Really?
And Grimspike.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, did he like actually make this or did he use chroma key? I couldn't tell because the camera wasn't shaking at all, so I really couldn't tell.
Which is, if the camera was shaking, bro, it would be floating around.
Oh,
that's why I didn't. I said we're doing still shots, so it doesn't. At least looks okay.
Yeah. Honestly, all that really needed was shading, and I would have loved that. But yeah, I thought that was actually pretty good, especially for a first time too, because I've never dared to do something like that because like
it's scary because it can
all
practical the whole thing.
Yeah, I like doing all practical effects because
me too. Practical effects. That's why practical blood. That's why I have so much of it.
It's just so fun too.
Oh, it's so much fun, and it looks more real, especially with like whenever you get fake arms and fake ears and fake noses, and you see that coming off, and you're holding it and you're interacting. Back to Clownopalooza, I think I like rubbed it on my face and like did a whole. It was disgusting, and that's gonna be fun. But what we're gonna do for Mean Boat, I'm gonna kind of tell you guys we're gonna have to like build a prosthetic. I've never built like a full-on prosthetic myself before, so we're gonna have to build a belly, and then we're gonna have to do a thing where we cut it open. There's guts inside of it, and we're gonna like fill it with blood, where it's gonna like kind of ooze out in blood, and it's gonna be a whole disgusting mess. But I'm excited to work on that. That's another Terrifier like inspiration for me, because they like build all their own prosthetics, and it's beautiful.
So rated R.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, what were you about to say?
You'll never find really any intimacy in my film, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's going to be tons of gruesome gore. But yep. So.
All right. Well, we're probably running out of time here. So this is about the closing of our episode. So you got any last thing you want to say before I?
Go subscribe to LNL. Subscribe to Killable Productions, and if you're not subscribed to BaNayNay already, go ahead and do that. But just stay tuned for the future films and podcasts.
Subscribe, please. I need the money. I'm poor. I need the monetization. I'm kidding. We don't make money off of this
Yet.
Yet. Well, if we'd stop using copyrighted music, then we would. But until then, we're not. But anyway, that's all for Banana Peels episode 5. I am your host, Cale Vance. This is my guest, Blaize Tudor. And until the next episode, I will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.